just actually getting on the field and getting to play on Saturday?
It was a great experience to be back with my team. I feel like all the hard work that I put in and just being there out there on the field with them.
You mentioned all the hard work you put in. Just how tough has just the process been the last few months, having you working your way back?
This is my first injury, so I feel like that was heartbreaking to me. Like it wasn't nothing that I experienced before, so I attacked it like how I attack everything. So I just grinded out, and that was really it.
What's the toughest part of that? Just outside of maybe the obvious, was it tough when the season started and you weren't able to really participate?
Yeah, that was really the most important thing. Like not be able to play with my team. I feel like that was something that because I played football all my life, so that's something that I love to do. That's something that I look forward to doing in life too. So that was really.
With that said, just getting your feet back underneath you, getting to play before Saturday in Texas, was that a good thing for you just to kind of get reacclimated to everything?
Yeah, I feel like that was great too. That was a great game to come back. Just playing, just going to be back out there, like getting my feet underneath me, like you said. That was really the main thing.
Do you obviously a lot of people thought you were one of the top receivers going through fall camp, going through spring and all that, but do you feel like you got your leg? You just keep saying legs back underneath from you. Do you feel like you're close to where you were?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like I just got to keep working too. At the same time, I feel like I'm back where I was. Just contributing to the team, and that's the main thing.
You mentioned it was kind of your first big injury. What helped? Was there anything that helped you through the last few months just get through the recovery process and all that?
I say like the coaching staff and the teammates. Like my first week, John had took me to his house. Like I spent time with him. That was a big important thing to me. Like I ain't never had nobody do that, and that was my first injury, so I was by myself. My mom and them, they back home. She came out here though at the same time, but other than that, yeah.
What you mentioned, John having you out. Just what did you remember about that process, and just how helpful was that for you?
Like I stayed to his house for like a whole week. He cooked for me, got my medicine and stuff like that. He made sure that I was straight, like mentally and physically too, at the same time.
How good of a cook is he?
Pretty good, yeah. He cooks some good steaks.
Do any of you kind of return the favor since John's been out?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I helped him a lot too. I asked him like what he need, and I looked out for him too. At the same time, he said he wanted me to come cook for him, but it still never happened yet. So I'll see.
What would you cook for him?
I'm from down south, so I like meat and rice, pork chops, green beans.
How excited are you to play in Texas?
Pretty excited. I feel like it's a big game. I heard about it. Like it's a big rival. At this stage too. Like really the main thing is I treat it like another game too at the same time.
Has anybody told you any just crazy stories?
Not really.
As far as, like the fans?
Not really. I never talked to like the fans yet.
No, like
about
the players. Have they told you crazy stories from like?
No, not really.
No.
What'd you know about OU Texas before getting to Oklahoma?
I really ain't pay attention to it much because I just like was focused on like my goals and my future, like where I was headed to. So I just felt like I wasn't paying attention. So
Adding your size to an offense that has Jaren, who's obviously been great for you guys, what kind of versatility do you think that brings?
Probably it brings like good versatility. Whatever the offense need me to do, like if they need me to one-on-one matchup block, I think I'm a pretty good blocker. So I fit up the gaps well too.
Was Saturday the biggest crowd you've played in front of in your career?
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, that was.
Are you excited to play in front of an even bigger crowd, I guess, this Saturday? And I'm sure you've heard some of the stuff about it being split in half and all of that.
Yeah, I heard about the split in half part too, but that's crazy. I think I'm very excited about it too. That's the biggest crowd I've been in. I'm probably going to play in too at the same time.
Do you feel like, I guess, you have something to prove to be able to play at this level and the opportunity in front of you to play in the SEC these last 7 games?
Yes, I feel like every game that I play, like I have something to prove. That's just me mentally. I feel like that's really it too, to be honest.
You said physically you're feeling back to where you were in the spring. When did you kind of know in that ramp-up process that you were like starting to really feel good and feel back to yourself?
I'd probably say when I was running routes with John, I was just going out there by myself, just running routes, doing drills and stuff like that. And I was feeling like I'm confident in my ankle and my leg, like whatever it was.
You said it was tough
missing games, obviously. But what have you thought of this receiver group, just watching every day in practice and in games?
I thought about the receiver group. It's a lot of dogs. They work very hard, and that's one thing I like about them. And we're a family.
Honestly, it sounds like you and John have got a really good relationship. Well, what about you and Mike? Obviously, especially since John's been out, how's that kind of developed? Especially if he has to be the guy again this weekend.
I feel like me and Mike relationship was great because I used to work out with both of them at the same time, so it was never no bad connection or anything.
Now you just had the one catch last weekend, but just to get out there and get your first catch at Oklahoma, was that sort of validating for you considering the path that you took to get here?
I wouldn't say nah, because every catch I think of is another catch. I feel like I got to go make that catch. It's not really validating nothing, I guess.
I guess on that, the catch being jumped up in the air, obviously you had an injury leading up to that. Did that give you confidence? Just kind of everything's all good?
For sure. After that catch, I feel like, because he took the wind out of me too, so I was like, oh, I'm back on the field now. That's when I realized, I'm playing football again. I'm really out there doing it, so yeah.
What it means to you guys. It is a different type of game, right?
Yeah, obviously, the best team always wins, and, it's exciting, man, just being down there. Obviously, I'm from Texas. It's always been a big game, and it always will be a big game. It's for the Red River. It's just fun. It's exciting, for sure. It means a lot.
Your best advice for someone who's never been at the game, someone like a Kendall Daniels?
Take it in. It's nothing like it. It truly is. From the moment that you step on that bus to drive over there until you get off the bus to walk into that stadium, it's really thin air. Competitive. I was literally just watching a video of when the defensive line, Ronnie Perkins and all those guys got into it with him pregame, and you don't have another game like that. It just means so much to both programs. You obviously get the gold hat for it, so it comes with a little bit of merchandise.
Do you ever think back to the 9 days that you were committed to Texas?
Yeah. I don't think about it much, but it did happen. Yeah. I do. It's pretty funny when you think about it, but I ended up right where I'm supposed to be, wearing the right colors. So everything worked out right on time.
What have you seen from this Texas offense on the film?
Yeah, really talented. Shockingly, if you look at their stats, it might show that they're one of the worst offenses. But if you break it down even deeper and further take a deeper dive into it, when they get explosive plays within their drive, they're the #1 offense in the country in points per game. I found that stat out today, and I was pretty shocked, because obviously the stats don't say that. They don't show you that unless you take a deeper dive into it. So that was pretty interesting for me to find that out.
How old were you when you first went to Texas?
The first time I went to the game in person, I think I was a junior in high school, so right about 17. And I was sitting in the southwest end zone, and I saw Marvin Mims toe tap for the touchdown. So that was my first in-person OU Texas game. So I saw it go out the right way for sure.
Well, you saw the swings the way that the game happens. I mean, is that stadium just different than it seems like it's a living thing?
It is. Obviously the fans, they don't go out there and play a snap, but they do play a big factor in that game. At times you could be backed up and our side of the ground can be shaking and you could be on the other side and it could be vice versa. Football is a very big momentum game, and if you've never experienced a game like that, you probably don't really understand what that means. But when you get in a game like that where it's truly 50-50, you find out how big of a momentum game it really is. So the fans definitely mean a lot, and I know they're going to show up.
How do you prepare for that? I mean, I'm mentally prepared for that.
You can't. I mean, you truly can't, because, like I said, it's nothing close to it. It doesn't matter how big another game is outside of it. I'm sure if we had a playoff game, it wouldn't even, here in Norman, it wouldn't even compare to what OU Texas is. So, you can't. You just got to go out there and enjoy it.
What are the emotions right now for you? Is it more of excited, nervous, anxious?
Yeah, I'm excited. For me personally, it's going to be the first one that I start in. And like I said, it's really important to me and big to me being from Texas and, just hearing about how big this game is. And obviously, they've gotten the better end of us. And so, I want to win. I really do. I got to win my sophomore year, and I know what it feels like to put on that gold hat at midfield and celebrate with your brothers. And that's a good feeling. It ain't so good the opposite way. So, I'm looking forward to that. And I know a lot of guys in this locker room and a lot of new guys that we got are looking forward to that as well.
What's your thoughts on the Texas offense?
Yeah, really explosive. I think their running back Trey Wisner, is that his name? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
I think he got hurt last game. He's a good player. I know we played him last year when he was a freshman. I think he was. He was really good. Arch, he played really good versus Florida. Depending on when he had time to throw the ball, he was accurate, and he threw a really good ball. They run the ball really good. They got a good receiver. Number 13, he's pretty good. They're a good offense. Obviously, not as experienced at the offenses that they had previously, but they're still really explosive.
Jaren was just talking about not letting Oklahoma beat Oklahoma. Does that translate for you all, like on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, if we keep the ball in front of us, like I said, man, we should be just fine. And if we don't, they become truly one of the best offenses in the country. So when you don't do your job and you don't do what you're supposed to do on that certain play, they can expose you and they can take over for you.
How much is the experience that you all have on the defensive side, all the players that are coming back into this game, how's it going to help you all out in this matchup? Yeah, that's going to be big. Like I said, we obviously have the experience on the defensive side of the ball versus what they have on offense. We got a lot of guys that's played a lot of snaps, and I think 6 of our 11 starters on defense have played in this game 4 times now. So, it's going to be big. It's going to be huge. And we should go win the game on our side of the ball, is what Coach V told us. No matter what the outcome is or what the score is, we should go win the game on our side of the ball. So that's what we're planning to do. So it's big to have guys that's playing a game like this.
This might be the dumbest question ever, but because I know you want to kill another team, but you want to win big, you want to pull people out. But as good as this defense is there maybe a piece of you that would like to go in there and just win a really low-scoring game and just dominate the defense?
Yeah, we could win 0-3, and man, I'd be as happy as I would be if we won 59 to 48 or something like that. Just when you go in and dominate somebody and you do exactly what you know you're capable of, it's a whole different feeling. And so every week a different piece is contributed on this defense. So hopefully we can all come together down in Dallas and establish what we really are and truly can be.
What makes you guys hungrier when everybody's praising you and talking about you one of the best defenses in the country?
This is obviously the coach answer, but the man who's leading us. But that's been instilled in us for 4 years. All of the guys that are truly contributing, and we just fed that into the other guys. And then once you bleed that into a program and guys believe in it, nothing is never good enough. Like, man, we had a leadership meeting this morning, and he literally ripped us about winning 44-0 and how it wasn't good enough. And I think a lot of places in the world and in the country, it would be the total opposite, and they'd praise you on how bad you just dominated the team that you were supposed to dominate. And he did the complete opposite. I mean, he literally talked about everything that was wrong. Like, I don't think he said one thing that was good, and so I think that's where it starts.
Thanks, Kobie.
Yeah.
Kobie, thanks.
Appreciate it.
What's this been like, just getting back at it?
It's been long, a lot of mental battles, but just thankful, blessed, honestly, to be back on the field.
You mentioned it's been long. Just what was the process like, just trying to recover from the injury, get back?
A lot of just weird things, that just I couldn't control. So just overcoming that and being able to get back, keep my mind straight and everything. So,
what did you learn just through that process? Did you learn anything about yourself, or just the ability to get through the recovery process?
I really felt like God tried to teach me that my identity isn't in football and it's in Him alone, and that I can't rely on my football ability to fulfill me. I got to rely on Him. So it was really good.
Aren't you just looking forward to this weekend and getting down there? How glad are you that you're back and able to?
I'm glad. The environment's always amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. We know we're gonna get their best shot, so we just got to prepare ourselves to give them our best shot. So.
During your rehab, was it a personal goal to get back for the OU Texas weekend?
It was a goal to get back before Auburn, but that was the first goal. So I mean, obviously I'm glad to be back, but I was just trying to get back as soon as I could.
Eli, you miss so much time. When you come back, what's the most difficult thing to get back as a corner?
I say the rhythm of plays, rhythm of the offense, rhythm of having to look to the sideline, having to look at the formations and whatnot. So, but I feel like I was prepared well through practice. I feel like we make practice a lot like the game, so I feel like I did really good.
How helpful was Saturday? Just you mentioned getting that rhythm back, that kind of stuff.
I feel like it was really helpful just to be in the environment of a real game. It's a different feeling. You can't quite simulate it in practice, but you can get close. So I feel like it was a big thing to get back that game and get in the group of things.
Portland's played a really big role in the secondary with you gone. How have you tried to mentor him?
Really just staying out there practice, working on foot placement, footwork, stuff like that, and then also in the film room. I feel like all the guys helped too. Gentry, KD, Nuke, Day. I feel like everyone was in there helping them, trying to get them to where we need to be to play at a high level.
Do you feel like you're 100% with being able to cut and push off and everything? Do you feel confident in all that?
Yeah, 100% confident, yes sir.
What have you seen from Texas so far?
Very explosive offense. The receivers are confident. They're moving fast. They do a lot well in the scheme to get players open and whatnot. So just being able to key our keys right, keep our eyes in the right place, should be okay.
Anybody you played in high school?
We play Ant Hill, but on offense, I don't think we played anyone on offense.
Eli, what were your memories of this OU Texas game growing up?
I can't lie, I was neither a Texas or OU fan growing up, but I mean, watching the games, it was always Red River shootout. That's what I heard. So we trying to change the narrative, make it defense oriented. So see how that goes.
How would you assess your brother's season so far? It feels like he's put together his best year so far since he's been here.
Yeah, I'm so proud. So proud just to see him out there hooping, having fun, playing aggressive, playing fast, playing quick, playing confident. I feel like he finally feels confident and his body's fully healthy and he's just ready to go, ready to attack. And I mean, I've known it all along, so I'm just happy the whole world can see it now.
You mentioned he's kind of fully healthy now. He's dealt with some injuries. How helpful was he at all just through your process of getting back? Did watching him go through injuries or anything help you just in that recovery process?
Yeah, because I never saw him down on himself when he was going through injuries. And I feel like seeing that helped me be able to be confident that I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get through this. Good.
What are the emotions going into your last OU Texas game?
Emotions are high. This is always a big one every year that we got marked on the calendar. But, I'm always going to just revert back to my process and our standards here at Oklahoma. And we're all excited. We're all anxious. But we're just going to do what we need to do to win the game.
Was there a little more juice at practice today?
There's always juice at practice. I mean,
was there more because
there's
it was
so many
Texas,
guys.
though?
There's so many guys that just bring so much juice to the practice field. I mean, Febechi comes in screaming his head off every single day, even on the bye week, and so it's hard for there not to be juice at practice. But you know what I mean?
Okay. What have you seen from this Texas defense on tape?
Yeah, they're very solid. We got a lot of guys that have been in that system. A lot of good players been in there for a couple years now, and we're gonna get their best shot. So we're gonna be prepared for them and do our best to prepare for them.
Jaren, what's this like? I mean, going into a game like this, I mean, in the past, you could make an impact in a game, but you weren't going to be out there, as many plays as other guys. Knowing that you're the guy at your position, is it more fun for you to think about, to prepare for this game, that you could have a pretty big impact on it?
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea that me going out and doing the work and doing everything I can to help the team win is going to make an impact. That's my goal, and that's everybody's goal, is to, help be the guy to help the team win, you know what I mean? So having that role and having the opportunity to have that role is something I'm very proud of and very, very grateful for sure, and something I'm going to work towards to maximize.
What's your favorite part about this game every year, Red River Rivalry?
I mean, the stadium's just so cool. The environment, split right down the middle, and everybody just gets all amped up for the game, and it's always a crazy game every year. No matter what anybody's record is, there's always something that goes down. Like, it's just such a cool game,
Jaren, when you maybe don't know who's going to be the starting quarterback, does that change your preparation at all, and how those two guys are going to be better in the week?
so far?
No, I mean, not at all. We have the utmost confidence in both those guys, whoever runs out there. And, like I said, we're just going to revert back to our standards as an offense. We're going to do what we do and go out there and don't let Oklahoma beat Oklahoma. And, we can have success no matter who runs out there. So we're behind both those guys, and we believe in both those guys.
What were the takeaways from the offense last week under Michael, and how do you go about being even better if he's out there again?
Yeah, I think Mike did a great job, and the things that he needs to work on and improve on, he already knows and understands, and is taking ownership of that. And we all had a bunch of mistakes that we can clean up and fix. And so we're very excited moving forward. And like I said, we're just going to revert back to what we do and don't let Oklahoma beat Oklahoma.
Jaren, you drifted back in the backfield and blocked out of there a couple of times. And you talked a couple of weeks ago to us that blocking, at least getting angles and everything, is still something you're learning. How much further has that come along, and how did you do it that on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. It's something that I continually try to improve every single week, and it's kind of like on-the-job learning, because there's not a lot of time in practice to necessarily focus specifically on that because we just do so much, and we only have a limited amount of time. And so learning on the fly and learning in games and just progressing as the season goes on is something I'm very keen on doing, and I think I'm just going to continue to improve and focus on that.
Is there something about this game, because like you said, it is half and half, that you have to learn how to handle momentum swings in a game like this and be able to overcome them when they happen?
Yeah, definitely. It's like that in any game, you know what I mean? Whether you're at home or away, if it's here at home and there's a big momentum swing for them, it can suck the life out of the stadium. Or if we're on the road and we cause a big momentum swing, you feel the stadium go out. But the cool thing about this one is there's always somebody cheering no matter what happens. And so it's like I said, a really cool environment that no matter what happens, somebody's cheering. And, we're going to respond. Bad things are going to happen. Not everything's going to go our way. And we're just going to, revert back to what we do and respond.
Jaren, when you said don't let Oklahoma beat Oklahoma, does some of that come from a few of the possessions of the performance against Michigan or Auburn, where the offense would kind of stagnate for parts of those games? Does it come from that, or is it just that's kind of the mentality every week?
A little bit of both. It's just kind of the mentality going into what we do and how we do what we do, and being keen on our details and just not shooting ourselves in the foot. Because in football, like if you can just worry about not beating yourself, you'll have a chance. You know what I mean? And so we're going to go out and we're just going to focus on doing what we do to the best of our ability and being keen on our details.
Jaren, I believe the statistic is you guys are 22 of 22 with red zone scoring opportunities. How much does that efficiency mean in a game like this where you got two really solid defenses pitted against one another?
Right. I mean, that's just something that we emphasize and that we are proud of and consider an identity in our offense. Is when we get down in the red zone, we score points. You know what I mean? Whether it be touchdowns or field goals. Like we get in this area of the field and we have to put something on the board. And so that's something we pride ourselves on, and something we're going to go and continue to try and do throughout the rest of the season.
What you think about Caden Helms getting into the end zone, seeing that he came back from his injury as well?
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, just what he's had to go through and everything that he's persevered is an incredible story, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
On Saturday from the win against Kent State?
Really, the takeaway was to go in there and dominate, every play. No matter who it is, we facing, we got to go 100% every play, and just really to dominate.
You didn't have Jaden or Dom, obviously, for that game, but you and David being able to step in, no drop-off. Just how big was that for the two of you guys?
Oh, yeah, it was big. We built lots of chemistry. You know what I'm saying? We still talk about all the plays that didn't happen last game. It was a great experience, just going out there first, having my legs right under me, keep on, just stacking plays, really just getting the rhythm in. And, it was a great experience.
Kind of the nameless, faceless opponent kind of cliche line is always used around here, but this week different for you guys. I mean, obviously Texas, the rivalry, everything that goes into Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, I feel like the name, that's really the only thing that's different. The mindset's still the same. Like I said, no matter who we play, we're still going to have to attack, come here 100%, knowing what to do, just stacking days, stacking weeks.
What stands out about their offense and Arch and kind of looking at them a little bit so far?
Just consistency. They know, they got good connections, good communication. Once we mess that up, though, it can go either way, go both ways.
Your offensive line struggled against Florida. What have you seen? Is there anything specific that you think you guys could take advantage of?
Not really. That's just, Florida defense, you know what I'm saying, versus Texas offense, a lot of different plays. You see some guys, get by the O-line, and some guys, the O-line, hem him up, have him there. So, just watching, different things that the offensive line is doing. And, we got BV in our corner, so, he's going to put us in the right spot.
Gracen, it seems like this is a very unique game in that the stadium itself has a life of its own, just split down the middle like that. Is it different handling momentum in this game when you have a swing one way or the other? Do you have to be stronger mentally to kind of go through a game like this with the momentum swings?
Oh yeah, definitely. Mentally, I feel like every game you got to be strong. You know what I'm saying? But we got half orange, half red. It's either that's how life is. Some gonna be on your side and some not. So just taking that as motivation. Just proving wrong. Our coach told us like it could be somebody's first time seeing us play. So just having that mindset, just going to attack every play.
Is it in your mind through the game, like you ever find yourself or your defense saying like, we got to shut these guys up on that side of the field?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's every play. We got to shut them up. That's our mindset. Every time we go out there, we got to shut them up. 3 and out.
What's that like for you guys when you get the opposing offense pinned deep into the Oklahoma half of the stadium?
So what it's like?
When you guys get the offense pinned deep into the red half.
Oh yeah, just gotta. I mean, when we get them pinned deep, right back there, safety. So every time we get them back there, that's where we try to get get good knockback.
Gracen, I know you told us a couple weeks ago that you guys call the defensive line the dog pound.
Mm-hmm.
Who came up with that?
It was Stone that came up with the dog pound, him and his cousin. And when they said dog pound, we start barking. We just liked it because dog. We some dogs. Everybody dog on that D line. We ready to eat.
Gracen, Florida had 6 sacks against Arch Manning. What do you think of Arch Manning's ability to handle pressure?
Ability's there. He can get out the pocket. He's a great quarterback. So we just gotta do our rush techniques. And close the lanes.
I feel great, man. I'm excited. Big week. Better of a rivalry. I can't wait to go out there and play.
But how do you feel like you guys as a group played, getting everybody back together last Saturday?
I feel like it was a good comeback. Obviously, still, relatively early into the season. A lot of things we can improve on. A lot of things to look at and be like, that was good. But, we're never satisfied, and we're always looking on to what we can do better for next week.
What are some of those things that you did well, but also things that you want to improve on going into this game?
I just think, the overall mesh of the O-line, I think we can always be more dominant, more physical, more secure on just all around communication and just bringing the whole group together. I'm not saying that we aren't, but saying that as offensive linemen, you can never be close enough. So.
Febechi, Jaren was saying that at practice you're bringing the juice, screaming, lifting all the guys up. How is it just lifting the guys up, especially on a week like this?
I love it, Again, every game is, you got to take every game serious. Every game is important, but, this game, there is just a little bit more into it. It's a little bit bigger rivalry, a little bit, everybody watches this game. So being able to be the guy that can bring juice to the guys, I love that feeling, but I try to bring it every day.
What do you remember about last year, and how long did it take you to maybe lock in instead of just being, wowed of what's around you?
I just remember, the biggest thing I remember last year besides the game is the fans, watching that was my first time actually at a Red River and playing, so the seeing the 50-50 split was crazy to me, and but after, that, it was pretty easy for me to lock back into the game. I just
Febechi, what stands out about this Texas defensive front on tape so far?
I think they're solid at all levels, especially that D-line level. I think they're very physical and very competitive, one of the best D-lines we're going to see this season, and I just can't wait for the opportunity to go out there.
We talked to Jake Saturday after the Kent State game. He mentioned that they were giving you guys some exotic looks with some of the stunts they were doing. How much did that kind of prepare you guys in real time for some of the stuff that you may face this week against Texas?
I think that stuff prepares us a lot, especially because a lot of teams, especially when you break them down, a lot of teams have a lot of similarities, so we can pick up stuff that Kent State does and that Texas might do. And seeing that actually live on the field helps us, mesh both of those together.
It does seem like you guys found something in the run game against Kent State. What do you think was different, and how can you build on that?
I just think that our mindset, kind of is picking up. I think that the guys are getting more confident in their steps. Everybody's getting more confident in, the play, not the play calling, but understanding the play. Everybody understands the plays more and more, and that's going to continue to grow as we continue to move on in the season. And I just think that, as the season goes on, everybody steadily improves. That's what we all try to do. Steadily improve in any area and in every area.
How do you think Mike Hawkins' mindset has changed since this time last year?
Oh, I can just tell he's a lot more confident in what he's doing. You know, he's out there. He's throwing. Y'all can see he's slinging it out there. You know, he can run. He can take off. His confidence in just the guys around him and himself has grown a lot.
So, like seeing Jake come out and play the way he did.
I love seeing that. You know, I think our running back room is one of the most talented rooms in the country, and seeing everybody get a touch, especially Jaden was a really good feeling.
What's your thoughts on the Texas front?
I think they're a great front. You know, it's going to be a very physical game. They're one of the best fronts we're going to play this year, and again, I just can't wait for the opportunity.
Febechi, John was dressed out in full uniform on Saturday, even though he absolutely wasn't playing.
Mm-hmm.
So what's his level of involvement been, just especially from an emotional perspective, ever since he underwent the surgery?
Yeah, he's a team guy. He's been around the whole time. So, seeing him out there in the jersey in full pads isn't really surprising to me. I expected that because that's just the type of guy John is. You know, no matter what's going on with him, he's going to be there for the team, looking like the team. You know, a part of the team.
But when you got guys like Susi, Mike, Derek, this is their first time. What's taking those guys ready for the atmosphere of this game on top of taking on that D-line?
Honestly, man, I would say there's nothing that can really prepare you because whenever I came, I wouldn't say I was shocked or I was flustered by the environment, but it's going to shock you. You know, you've never seen another game where the fans are split 50-50 down the middle. You know, but I just think that what's more important is that at the end of the day, it's a game that we got to play. So when you get on the field and you get into that game mode, me personally, I feel like the crowd noise kind of lessens, and I don't focus on the crowd as much. And now it's just me and the defense and the people I got to block.
Being at a spot there where you're in the middle between Austin, Norman, and really gets to be 50-50 split between fans. Do you think that really, an atmosphere like that elevates college football as a whole?
Oh, I do. I mean, games like that, honestly, I think we have the best rivalry in all of college football because what other rivalry do you really have? Two teams that have so much history and they meet right in the middle, 50-50, stadium split in half, everybody knows about the Red Rivalry. I think it's one of the top, if not the top rivalry in all of college football.
Thanks for that.
Thank you.